so far as that's concerned. We've had a new slice of information this evening, which really doesn't change my view. But the people want to build what they've said. There's plenty of room there. I'm not going to speculate on what might happen in the future. So I think if anybody wants to improve their lot, they should be allowed to do so. So I'm not going to change my position.
I didn't have the technical information that was brought to the table tonight, but the views contained within that technical information were my views on the day, for pretty much the reasons that the technical information has reinforced. So I still feel the same way as I did, which is that the property is overscaled for its setting. So I don't want to change my position now.
I must confess, if it was a standard garage, I wouldn't really have any issue with it being built, although I do have an issue with the size of it. From the windows upstairs, for me, is the size almost the size of the residential property sitting opposite. From my view,
it's supposed to be on the gymnasium.
yeah, that's right. It's a gym at the top. It's not just a 3-car garage, is it? It's 2 garages with a storeroom to the side of it, with upstairs. You could say gymnasium. That must be a fair building to hold gym equipment. Me personally, I don't really have an objection to a garage, but I do have an objection to the size.
Right. Well, my view is that provided nobody is at risk of being damaged, we should all be free to do what we want within the law. However, looking at this and its footprint, especially with the information given to us in terms of proportion, my own feelings are that this is disproportionate. Therefore, if it was a half the size, I probably wouldn't have an issue. I do have a nagging word you use about the future.
Well, you just you just look at the project that's in front of you.
Yeah, I wonder
But
if
ignore future, any speculation on what alternative use it will be,
yeah,
and what may be used in the future.
Yeah.
Because you've got enforcement officers and all that sort of stuff.
the
There's
speculation.
been no objections from any neighbour. Let's just make that clear.
The only speculation that I've got running through my head right at this moment is this in fact a commercial development by stealth?
Well, according to the education that I've had, you don't think that way. You look at what's been presented in front of you.
What's being presented in front of us is disproportionate.
Well, you can object on that basis, I guess.
The landscaping around it has been quite clever. That sort of sinking it below.
It is a low, it does go to the land.
You have to ask why they didn't go ahead with the other application that they got permission from. They never built it.
That's a perfect opportunity for residential, isn't it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Speculation.
True.
Right, so do you want to go to the government? So, members who wish to see the application closed?
Refused.
And approved? Okay, so I need the reasons for refusal, so that I can put that in tonight, because obviously our extension runs out tomorrow.
I think the information pointed out to us where the definition of modest is 50% or less, or should suffice because the footprint is in excess of 50%.
Voice back in.
Yeah, someone just get,
I'll get up. Back on.
You want more than that? Communication, number 6. Nothing. Comms committee. Environmental. 7.1.
I'll go again.
There's going to be a great bit of communications there.
See you later.
I can share with you.
I was going to say, yeah.
As you're probably aware, not both sides of the hedge of the allotments is covered under contract. So, Councillor Allardyce kindly went out to tender or sought prices, and as you can see, they're there.
oh no, they can't see it because it's only notes for you to read them out.
Yeah,
Rewind.
no idea.
Heber Horticultural Services were 135. Tree Pro gave several different quotes. Option 1, 250. Option 2, 350. Option 3, which was a combination of 1 and 2, was 600. So there's no actual saving there. Kent Valley gave 2 different quotes. Option 1, 850, and option 2, 1,900. 1,900. And Key Skinner, 400. So they were all asked to say. Sorry?
What is the option?
I think that you talk them through, you know, you
Right,
options.
The access to the allotments, the complaint was people couldn't get down there. So my brief was to have a look and see what needed to be doing. So I took the view that a man carrying 2 buckets should be able to walk freely down that path to access all the allotments, right down as far as the furthest allotment. Now I understand that that is in fact a KCC footpath. However, we have it in the contract that the allotment side will be part of the amenities contract, as I understand it. Therefore, I asked people to come out and have a look at trimming it down so that a man with 2 buckets can go down there, and that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, but the fact that you asked Tree Pro to give different options, they gave.
Oh yes, well, the reason why there are different options was that part of it is KCC, and the bit that we're actually looking at is only adjacent to the allotments. So the common sense thing, as far as I was concerned, was as to make sure we've got the allotments bit covered, but then access to that from the other side. If it was a modest sum, then knock it all down so that the allotment holders.
What KCC's bit, you mean?
It's not quite as simple as that. There is about 20 odd metres that could be disputed on the western side. of Brook Park, which is the same side as the allotments. The other side, of course, is speculative who should be doing it. But as far as that price is concerned, I made it quite clear to the people that I invited to quote that it was one man with buckets, 8 foot high, so you can get down to well, you've got to be pragmatic. I mean, I wouldn't have walked down that. Well, I tried actually, just before we came to this meeting, I went down to inspect an allotment, which is another part of this. And I walked down as far as reasonable in the amount of time I had, and it has just got so much worse. And it's just as the weight of the summer brings things down, it's really unpleasant.
I mean, for the allotment holders at the very end.
Yes, that it is.
I mean,
it's a
they've
nightmare.
complained.
Yeah.
You just cannot get down.
Well,
No.
I was back this evening before we came here, and it is pretty grim.
Yeah.
And in fact, I had, because my neighbours at the Robot Business Park have cottoned on that I've now joined Parish Council, and I had somebody knock on my door who, because I live adjacent to them, and say that it's their afternoon leg stretch at lunchtime and they can't get down there either. So I suspect that those complaints will just escalate if something isn't.
Oh, it needs to be done and right. It needs to be done tomorrow.
The quotation by Heber, Mr. Chairman, of this 135, does that include the KCC aspect part of it?
No,
It doesn't.
no. It's
So
purely
in
what
order
is
to add
required.
to that, we need a figure for the.
We don't need to do a case.
We don't need to do that.
You don't need.
All we need to make sure is that the allotment holders can gain access to their allotments,
Which they can.
which they would do.
They can do without going down the KCC
Precisely.
section.
Right.
Yeah, they can get access through the
Thank you for
business
the
estate.
clarification. My apologies.
It is a very pleasant walk.
Yeah.
And just to give you an idea, Fred, that's how overgrown it is.
Oh, please, I'm not questioning
Yeah, no, it is.
the requirement
You
to
cannot
do
get
it.
down there.
Are the quotes you gave like for like? Because I tried to write them down, and you said that the second one I wrote down could be between 250 to 350, going up to 600. That's against 135, and I got very confused about whether you were talking like for like. If all of those quotes are like for like, what do you recommend? I mean, this is something that the Amenities Committee, I think, should decide themselves.
Well, they haven't got delegated powers, it has to come to the...
Oh, I see. So
What
what do you
we
recommend?
talked about,
What do you recommend?
Well,
What do you
we
recommend?
recommend the cheapest one, not
Absolutely.
Right, okay, yeah, good.
Right, so...
Well, not wanting to lead the witness, can someone then?
Can someone propose who they want to go with this?
I propose we use the quote from Heber.
And I'll second it.
Is everyone in favour of that? So, can you let them know? Or who's going to let them know?
I think we know.
Right, additional Heber horticultural service invoices. 2 additional items have been included with invoices received from Heber. Both items need to be approved by the Parish Council before payment can be made. 1. The verge by the play area in Church Lane has been cut. This was an individual arrangement that was made with Heber during the last contract period, and the item was not included as part of the new contract. It's 3 cuts at £28.80 each, which gives us a total of £86.40.
So is that internal or beside the play area or external?
No, external.
Right.
Because, I don't think it was last
Because the
year
internal
before.
part's been cut.
Yeah. I think the year before last, it got to the point that the grass was nearly as high as the hedge. So
Yes.
because KCC have cut back what they're doing, so the Parish Council had to commit to another contract.
In old reflection, You know, and perhaps next time it will be included on the contracts. But it's not. So we're talking about a retrospective payment. I'll show that to someone else.
Well,
Discuss this.
so the summary is, Heber are doing it, as they've always done. They've made the cut once.
3 times.
3 cuts.
They've made 3 cuts already. How many in the year? Because we're talking about £86.40 now. That we should talk about that.
Yeah, I think it's about 8 cuts.
8 cuts. So we're talking about
I think it's about 8 cuts. So let's get the old contracts now.
we're talking about 240, 250 quid. Presumably we've got no quotes from anybody else.
No, that's just one on.
No, it
So
was just
it's a
done.
no-brainer, isn't it? We're responsible for it. We're going to pay for it.
I mean, what we could say is that any future items like this need to be run before us, before they're actually carried out, so we don't have this retrospective payment situation.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably a good chance we would have approved it anyway, but you know, that's just something we can advise them for future.
We have assurance that the other 5 cuts will be pro-rata.
What, the same cost?
3 cuts, £86, I believe you to have said too.
Yeah.
The other 5 cuts will be of a similar.
Well, shall I?
They're the same price.
Yeah.
So that is a guarantee.
It's £28.80 per cut.
Right.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll confirm that with Heber. How many more cuts do we expect they're expecting to do, or we're expecting them to do, and then get confirmed that that will be the price for each one. I mean, that we can, I assume, can vote at September. Yeah. But this is obviously for what work that's been done.
Can I say something, Mr. Chairman? I mean, I've had about 3 or 4 families, stand on locking gates in the early hours of the morning for various charities filled, and just how nice the children play area surrounding the
Second,
looking.
absolutely.
You were there with me.
Yeah.
So that's a good job done.
Yeah. Okay. Well, can I have a proposal for that to be paid?
I propose.
I'll second.
Second, all in favour?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Right, the grass cuttings removed from Woodlands Walk. Whilst there has been an email discussion on this item, following a complaint from a resident, there has been no mention of additional cost in the email thread. This is £290. Maybe Councillor Dean wants to
Yeah,
throw a bit of light on this.
yes. I also, as you know, contacted Heber because by the top end of the lake, where the grass next to the lake is high, was about 2 foot high in places, it had been trimmed and gone into the lake, the majority of it. The remainder of it was on the path and in danger of going to the lake. So I emailed Heber, as you know, you were copied in, and it was cleared. Fine. But nowhere was there any cost mentioned. But in the bill it says here, a one-off cost is agreed in email dated the 23rd of February. But how can that be? Also, the contract says debris should be cleared, and I consider all that stuff as debris. I didn't ask for the paths to be cleared because that's in the contract.
Has that been debated with people?
Well,
So we can't really make a decision now, can we?
no, but Kelly and I had email exchanges on it.
Can I suggest that you two get together come to an amicable agreement and then try and discuss it with Heber and make a decision yourselves.
No, it can't.
Really?
Well, we need to pay the invoice. Well, can I
And then the other thing is, we could do is deduct 290 from
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
invoice while
going to
this is
suggest.
being sorted out.
We pay this top amount
Yeah.
and leave that 290.
What top amount is
Oh,
this?
No, because there's the actual,
There you are.
the actual
There's the invoice.
bills due on the contract.
Oh, and leave that one 290
Yeah.
for discussion.
Yeah.
And we give you delegated powers to make the decision, I would suggest.
Might be right.
Why not? Just to get things done. Yeah. But we're not in September, we're not going to have a situation where one thinks we should pay and the other one doesn't, are we? Because if we do,
We don't know.
well, if we do, we need a full background, don't we?
Okay. Right, 7.2, other environmental issues. Employment of an amenity member. Over to you, Councillor Dillon.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
Damage caused by salt bags, is that it?
well, should we do the damage to the...
Yeah, do
Salt
that
bags.
first. then
Right,
you
yeah,
come
okay.
back and
Yeah, but he's
you come back.
Ken's got an interest, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I won't.
He needs to be here because can we organise...
Right.
Oh,
Okay. We received an email from the chairman of the Village Hall Trust giving 60 days notice for the soil and hedgerow to be replaced, similar sized hedge.